On the Solemnity of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Queen of Palestine, the small Shrine of Deir Rafat welcomed a large number of Christians from Israel and Palestine for the opening ceremony of the General Synod of the Church of the Holy Land. At the end of Missionary Month, religious men and women of the Holy Land gathered in prayer for all missions around the world. The olive harvest in the Garden of Gethsemane. The Garden of Olives remains one of the most visited and loved places in Jerusalem by pilgrims, both Catholic and from other Christian denominations. To open the doors for the future of young people in the Holy Land, Bethlehem University's Institute for Community Partnership, in collaboration with the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, launched the Afaq project for Christian youth and women on entrepreneurship and job search in Palestine. The 8th edition of the Terra Organ Festival was held in the Holy Land. This year the event was held in the presence of both the orchestra and the public. For a synodal church, communion, participation and mission is the theme chosen by Pope Francis for the Synod. The opening of the Synod was celebrated in St. Peter's Basilica on Sunday, October the 10th, 2021. The opening ceremony of the diocesan phase of the General Synod in the Church of the Holy Land was held on the Solemnity of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Queen of Palestine. The small Shrine of Deir Rafat welcomed a large number of Christians from Israel and Palestine. We came from all parts of the diocese, and this physical movement must become a personal and community pilgrimage in the footsteps of the two disciples of Emmaus. We are overwhelmed by so many problems, frustrated like the two disciples, but the encounter with the Lord changes the perspective of our lives. Father David Neuhaus recalled the previous synodal experience in the Holy Land.
We did this in the 1990s, from 1991 to 95, a preparatory stage, and from 95 to 2000, an absolutely wonderful synodal path together. That was 9 years of preparation. Now we want to renew that spirit. We want to dig and find that spirit that was ignited.
The October the 30th celebration was organised by the Assembly of Catholic Ordinaries of the Holy Land. His Beatitude, Pier Battista Pizzaballa, presided over the celebration, and during his homily, he provocatively asked, "Are we ready to set out on this journey, this adventure?" And he then urged everyone to keep in mind some fundamental dimensions. I would like to highlight two elements above all at the beginning of the synodal journey. First, we want to set out just like the two disciples of Emmaus. Second, we want to do it together as church, as community. That is why I find it beautiful and significant that in all parts of our churches, Galilee, Palestine, Jordan and Cyprus, we are at this moment gathered together. To set out is to be willing to go out, to change, to look beyond one's ordinary reality, to let oneself be carried away by dynamis, by the dynamic power of the Spirit. It is important, however, that listening to be illuminated by the presence of the Lord, so that it does not become just a litany of complaints. I hope instead that this journey of ours, little by little, will allow our eyes to see and our ears to hear Him, to realize not only what we lack, but also what we have. He is the gift to us in the Spirit. A celebration in the different Catholic rites of the Church in the Holy Land.
This is part of what makes the Church special, all of these different Catholic rites. So together we are Latins and Greeks and Maronites and Syrians and Armenians, all together. But there is another kind of diversity that is present here as well, which was so clear. We are a church that is Palestinian Arab, and they are the children of the first church. But together with them, there are Hebrew speakers and migrants from all different countries and asylum seekers, and all of us together are church. Part of the synodal process is now to get to know one another, to listen to one another, to dream together of the church that we want to be.
We will resume a discourse that was in a sense interrupted 20 years ago with the closing of the diocesan synod of all the churches of the Holy Land. And since then, this is the first time that all the churches of the Holy Land of all rites are meeting together. We will work on the three themes of the synod: communion, participation and mission. And we will have to question ourselves. The first thing we will say is that we must start again, meet again, get to know each other better in order to then be witnesses here in our land of what it means to be Christians. Jerusalem is the mother church. From here all the churches were generated, and I think it is important to continue to maintain this link between Jerusalem and the rest of the world. A very special and moving moment was the procession around the shrine with the image of the Virgin Mary, Queen of Palestine, to whom the synodal path was entrusted. A vigil to pray for the missions in the world. This was the intent that brought together religious men and women of the Holy Land in St. Stephen's Church in Jerusalem.
The intent is to open the horizons of our faith, from the human family to the universal church, and to bring into the heart the difficulties of all peoples, especially those who live difficult moments, or even Christians who live experiences of persecution, of fatigue. The idea is to bring in the heart these situations and to present to the Lord these difficulties, but also to thank Him for the gift of the missionary church.
Queste difficoltà, ma anche ringraziarlo per il dono della Chiesa missionaria.
The Vigil is an initiative of the new regional committee of the Union of Religious Superiors for Jerusalem and Palestine.
È stata organizzata questa volta la veglia dal nuovo comitato regionale.
It was organized by the new regional committee of the Union for Women Religious of Jerusalem and Palestine. We begin together with this moment of prayer, the path that will see us reflect and discuss the theme of synodality of the Church. It will be an interesting journey that is open today under the banner of this prayer on the Universal Missionary Church.
Panels were put up at the Vigil site indicating the different continents to represent the places where the hands of these religious women wish to arrive through prayer. An event that has as its starting point the theme of the World Mission Day this year, which is taken from the verse of the Acts of the Apostles: "We cannot be silent about what we have seen and heard."
Abbiamo celebrato con l'Unione delle Religiose stasera la giornata missionaria.
Tonight we celebrated with the Union of Women Religious the Missionary Day. A beautiful moment that I will carry in my heart is that the Holy Land where the mission started is a land of mission. We are missionaries here, not only in China, in India or in Africa, but also here in the Holy Land where Christians are less than 2%.
Siamo qui in Terra Santa dove I cristiani sono meno di 2%.
The invitation of Jesus, "Stay here and keep watch with me," reported by St. Matthew, has crossed the centuries and reached our days. The Garden of Olives remains one of the most visited and loved places in Jerusalem by Catholic pilgrims, but also by those of other Christian denominations. The beginning of autumn is a special time because it is the time of the olive harvest. A study of the Gethsemane olive trees commissioned by the Custody of the Holy Land has shown that their trunks and branches are about 900 years old. making them among the oldest known olive trees. The olive trees belong to a single original variety, and they also all have the same DNA, meaning that they were propagated by cuttings from a mother plant.
Dopo la festa del serafico Padre San Francesco, la Fraternità del Gethsemane.
After the feast of the seraphic Father St. Francis, the Fraternity of Gethsemane invites consecrated lay people and local faithful to harvest olives from the sacred garden. These olive trees are the silent witnesses of the Lord's agony on the night of Holy Thursday, and the oil from these olives is pressed by a family in Bethlehem, a tradition now several centuries old.
Queste olive, no, viene triturato da una famiglia di Betlemme, come già è tradizione di tanti secoli. Dopo questo olio si occupa per il Giovedì Santo per la messa crismale.
This oil is used on Holy Thursday during the Chrism Mass. The Patriarch presides over the Eucharist in the Holy Sepulchre, where the oil of the sick, the oil of the catechumens and the chrism are blessed, and afterwards distributed to the different parishes of the diocese. It is a great joy for us to guard this holy place, from where we ask the Lord for the gift of peace. This work is an offering. It is a prayer that we make for all the coronavirus patients and also for all the pilgrims of the whole world waiting to return to visit the places of our redemption and this holy place of Gethsemane.
Che agnorano di ritornare nuovamente a visitare i luoghi santi della nostra redenzione, anche questo sacro posto del Getsemani.
Touching these trees full of stories definitely brings a strong emotion. Today, the Filipino community of our parish of St. Anthony of Jaffa is participating in the harvest. The Legionaries of Christ are also here, and in the afternoon, other communities will come to give continuity to the olive harvest of Gethsemane. In an effort to improve the quality of life for young people, the Institute for Community Partnerships at Bethlehem University, in collaboration with the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, launched the Afaq project on October the 29th in the village of Taibe, near Ramallah. The goal is to empower Christian youth and women on entrepreneurship and job search in Palestine. Funded by the Missio Foundation of Aachen and the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre, the project will be implemented in 13 Christian parishes in the West Bank.
The needs for the young people and women in particular are so great with the unemployment as it is and the challenge that the pandemic has they're facing with the pandemic. I think that what we are trying to do with this, or what we're going to do with this, is provide opportunities for young people and for women to gain the skills and the knowledge and the values that's going to enable them to contribute to Palestine, to contribute to their families and be employed themselves.
This project was created in response to the challenges experienced by local people to improve their economy, to help them overcome difficulties and to create entrepreneurial, creative and sustainable opportunities. The question we asked ourselves is, after the support from the Latin Patriarchate, what happens to these families? Can the Patriarchate help for 1 month, 2, 3, for how long? We started with a desire to create a project that would increase the skills of these families so that they could benefit and thus increase their work capacity to get out of unemployment, to get scholarships or a loan for a project. The project includes various programs and activities, the realization of seminars and vocational courses, workshops on entrepreneurship, development of existing projects, as well as granting interest-free loans to selected companies. There will be special programs for students through scholarships, so they can participate in vocational training programs and much more.
This is a project that Bethlehem University is very interested in, and we're very pleased to be able to work through our Institute of Community Engagement and Partnership with the Patriarchate. And it's our way of working with the Patriarchate to further the mission that the Patriarchate has within the Holy Land.
طبعا رسالتنا في البطريركية اللاتينية إنه إذا ما كان في تضافر الجهود ما بين الفئات المختلفة.
If there is no synergy, a joint effort between parishes, pastors, parish pastoral councils, youth, scouts, schools and teachers, frankly the chances of success for this project are limited. We hope to create an integrated work team to achieve the set goals so as to include as many beneficiaries as possible.
العمل المتكامل حتى نوصل للنجاح المطلوب بالنسبة لهذا المشروع ويقدر يستفيد منه أكبر عدد ممكن من المستفيدين.
The strategic partnership between Bethlehem University and the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem concretely contributes to opening doors to the future of young people in the Holy Land. A beautiful and unmistakable sound produced by the passage of air through the vertical pipes. This is the organ. The music coming from this instrument is produced by the keys and the pedal board, and the result is an authentic acoustic spectacle. Present in many churches of the Holy Land, this ancient instrument is the protagonist of a festival now in its 8th edition, organized by the Franciscans, the Terra Organ Festival. Organists of different nationalities perform in this festival in a variety of repertoires. The concerts are held in churches, sanctuaries and places where the Franciscan friars of the custody of the Holy Land are present: Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Greece, Cyprus, Egypt, Lebanon and Syria. This year the event was hosted by the cities of Jaffa, Tel Aviv, Nazareth in Galilee, Jerusalem and Bethlehem. In contrast to last year, this year the event was held with the presence of the public. What's new is that this year there will be an audience, so our Holy Land audiences will also be able to listen and to return to hear our concerts. This edition featured a few innovations.
Per la prima volta in Israele abbiamo fatto un concerto.
For the first time in Israel, we did a concert for organ and orchestra made with a collaboration of the Italian Institute of Culture in Tel Aviv and performed in St. Peter's Church in Jaffa by the Israel Sinfonietta of Beersheva and organist Yuval Rabin.
A Jaffa con la Israel Sinfonietta di Beersheva e l'organista Yuval Rabin.
A concert dedicated to the nations.
Per esempio a Nazareth abbiamo avuto due programmi dedicati, cioè due concerti dedicati a
For example, in Nazareth we had 2 programs and 2 concerts dedicated to Italian composers in collaboration with the Italian Cultural Institute of Haifa. For the first time there was the concert dedicated to composers from the Czech Republic in collaboration with the Czech House Jerusalem, which was held in St. Saviour's Church in Jerusalem and which the audience found very interesting.
In collaborazione con Czech House Jerusalem, che è stato fatto nella chiesa di San Salvatore a Gerusalemme.
Decido di finanziare le iniziative.
I have decided to finance the initiatives of the Custody of the Holy Land in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Cultural Institute of Haifa, which is an organ of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so that they make known and help spread Italian culture and, in this case, its Christian roots.
E le sue radici cristiane in questo caso.
Sounds, music, the harmony of this instrument spreads all over the world thanks to the Terra Organ Festival.